Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Callum Hawker and thank you for joining us. A shooting victim remains in hospital clinging to life after a shooting in the border city. Lloydminster RCMP are today shedding more light on the shooting that happened around 10:40 Monday night. RCMP received a complaint that someone had been shot outside an apartment complex. Officers who responded found the victim and immediately started life-saving efforts while others searched for a suspect. RCMP say an adult male victim remains in hospital and the Alberta RCMP Major Crime Unit has taken over the investigation. A nearly 18-year-old suspect was to appear in North Battleford Provincial Court today. A black bear paid a visit to the east side of the city this morning. Lloydminster RCMP say the bear was seen near the A&W East location around 10 a.m. and had been approaching people and vehicles. RCMP contacted Alberta Fish and Wildlife, where people were advising not to approach or feed the bear and to keep small children and pets inside. But earlier this afternoon, RCMP sent out an update and the bear had been located and was to be escorted out of town. After suffering many delays, the new expansion at Lloyd Comp High School is now complete. Our Callan Dunlop has more on what's planned for the new space.
Students, as well as community members, all gathered for the grand unveiling of the new expansion. Featuring a new gymnasium and classrooms, the expansion aims to support both the students and staff moving forward.
Means better learning spaces for students, better working spaces for teachers as well, more opportunities on the practical and applied arts side, more opportunities in the arts, more opportunities in athletics. I mean, that gymnasium, Synergy Place, home of the Barons, that's pretty incredible.
The school board is confident that this new expansion allows students to not only better express themselves, but also find their career of choice.
You know, providing those learning experiences for students so that they can find the passion for the career that they want as we go forward, we have to adjust and change our facilities and the way we build and design them to the students of the future.
This new development was designed firstly to allow grade 9 students to attend the high school, starting in the next school year.
It's growing. It means we have more families and more kids. We need more spaces, and that's why certainly we as a government of Saskatchewan, and I know the government of Alberta feels the same way, as we see our communities growing and our provinces growing, we need to continue to make these investments that are going to benefit families and students in our communities.
Callan Dunlop, Primetime, Local News.
Construction for the Cenovus Energy Hub is well underway with the main concrete base of the building in place alongside plenty of steel work.
The progress is coming along, things are going up, and you're starting to see the actual shape of the new facility as we're going here. It's pretty cool and quite a sight to see with all the cranes happening, all the steel being erected, and finally starting to see the height of it and all that too.
Great progress has been made to the construction of the main building, as well as the Lake K Storm water pond, with further development to the area to follow.
There's a lot going on in this area, and we're excited for all of it. There is, future developments as far as retail sector. There's possibly a hotel. There's, and of course, the ball diamonds that will come later on after. But the main focus right now is this event facility, and looking forward to getting it construction.
Pets Purpose Animal Shelter has officially been recognized as a charity. Abby St. John has more on what this will mean for the organization.
I'm very happy to be joined here today by Tennille Zellweger with a Pets Purpose Animal Shelter here in the border city. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We always really appreciate the exposure in the community.
Of course. Now, you guys are a fairly new organization and you've just been registered officially as a charity, which is so exciting for not only the shelter, but for the city in general. So first, let's talk about what this means for you guys to officially be registered and how will this change operations if it does?
So it's very beneficial that we do have our official registration. So we are a registered charity. So it does change the way that we get to operate. So again, everybody that's helped in the community, we're really grateful for all of your support this far, but this really opens up another avenue for us as we're able to generate tax receipts. So it helps in the community as it really helps us grow too. So we are really, really excited to see what's to come in the border city because again, we can't do what we do without the community. And we are a nonprofit volunteer-based animal rescue. So again, community, we are so grateful to be here and to have your support.
And with that official charity status, are there plans now that you can implement that you may not have been able to before?
Essentially what we were doing, this just helps us to scale what we're going to be able to do. So we are going to be looking for a building in the future here. Right now, we're completely foster and volunteer based. So if anybody in the community loves animals, wants to help, we are looking for fosters and volunteers and even donations that would help us to get a building and to be able to take more animals into our care. So it's really just helping us to scale it. The more that we're able to do, the more animals that we're able to give their purpose to again. So that's a big thing. And then the charity status, being able to give tax receipts as well.
Yes, that is so exciting. Now, we were talking a little bit before, and you guys have been trying to get this registration for a while now. How important and how exciting is it for you guys to finally have that status?
It is because starting a charity did have a few little speed bumps along the way. So we've definitely learned a lot. But our rescue, Pets Purpose, we come with it with like we're heart based, right? We do it because we love the animals. We see that there's a need for it in the community, and we really want to be able to give pets their purpose again and help more animals in Lloydminster and the surrounding areas. So it's really important for us to have that charity status because we have the like the respect and the support of it, right? We have the credibility, and now we can give those tax receipts. So it really, really helps us to grow and help more animals.
Absolutely, which is the most important part and why you guys do what you do for the animals, which is so exciting. Now, if anybody wants to find more information on a pet's purpose, where can they go to find that?
So you can definitely find us. We're on Instagram, we're Pets Purpose, we're on Facebook, we're Pets Purpose, and then we also have our website. So that if I can send it to you, and if you could put that on the screen, that would be awesome. You can follow us there if you're looking to volunteer, foster, maybe even adopt an animal or donate. That can all be done on the website.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and congratulations on the registration as a charity. And I can't wait to see what you guys do in the future.
Thanks so much. We're really excited now. We've got a few different exciting things that we're going to start to bring into the community. So stay tuned, and we look forward to speaking with you guys soon.
We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
A veterinarian from the Lloydminster Animal Hospital is advising pet owners to be vigilant about ticks. We sat down with them to find out more.
I am speaking with Becky Newman today from the Lloydminster Animal Hospital. Thanks for joining me, Becky.
You bet.
Now, I think you have a picture of exactly the topic we're going to speak about right behind you, the
I
ticks.
do. Yeah.
So
I didn't
it
even
is.
do that on I didn't even do that on purpose.
So it is tick season, and anytime we start talking about them, I start to get the creepy crawlies. But people have been posting on social media, lots of posts, people finding them already as they head outdoors. What can you tell me about our tick season this year?
Well, you're not the only one who gets the creepy crawlies from them. And I guess just the thing to know is that they're here to stay. And, I grew up in this area myself, never saw a tick at all when I was growing up until, they started showing up, gosh, probably 5 or 6 years ago, we started seeing them. And now it seems like there's more and more reports of them every year. So they are here to stay. So we just have to learn how to live with them and be more aware of them. And we've been seeing ticks here probably um, like our report started at the end of April and the start of May, but I think they're probably peaking about now. And most of the ticks we see this time of year are what's known as the American dog tick, commonly kind of called a wood tick as well. And that's the ones we see on our dogs primarily and ourselves at this time of year. And the good news about the American dog tick is that it is not known to carry Lyme. And the tick that carries Lyme disease is the black-legged tick, also known as the deer tick. And those ones can be around this time of year as a nymph or a larval stage. They're very small, they're hard to identify. We don't find a lot of them in our area. When we do tend to see them reported, it tends to be more in the fall. And they can be active right through till the end of November. We did once in this area that I remember have a Lyme disease positive deer tick at the end of November. It was November 27th.
So with small animals, your dogs that you take for walks, and if you let your cat out or something, what kind of illness can they get aside from Lyme disease from ticks?
So there are lots of diseases that are carried by ticks worldwide. We tend to not see a lot of them here. There can be, if your dog has a lot of ticks on them, there can be something called tick paralysis and can cause your dog to be paralyzed. That doesn't happen very often around here. We don't have that many ticks or that much of an infestation on our dogs. Um, they can carry other diseases called anaplasmosis or lichia, and they tend to cause fevers. Um, often dog being just sort of sick and lethargic for a couple of days. We don't really see a lot of that here. And American dog ticks in general don't cause a lot of illness in our pets. They are just more so creepy, crawly, and really freak us all out.
Now, I think most dog owners know to check their animals after they've been out for a walk. What about preventative measures?
Yeah, it's something we talk to every single client who comes through the door about this time of year. And we have lots of different preventative products for our dogs and cats now. And so there's both topical products and oral products. And the way that they work is so if your dog takes an oral product, when a tick attaches to them, when the tick takes a blood meal, it will then get that product into its system and die. And usually they die and fall off within 4 to 8 hours. Definitely, within the first day for sure. They'll just kind of shrivel up and fall off. And a tick has to be attached for longer than 12 hours in order to transmit any sort of disease through the saliva that it puts back into your body. So, as long as those ticks are dying quite quickly after they attach to your pet, there's no risk of them transmitting disease. But most of the products that we carry are not a repellent. They don't repel ticks, they don't kill them on contact. The tick does have to take a bite of the animal and take a blood meal before it starts to die.
Now, I understand that they're not interchangeable as far as what's provided for dogs and cats. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the products that we sell here at the clinic, a lot of them are labeled for dogs and cats, but it's very dose dependent. So the size of product that you give varies depending upon the weight of the animal. But there are some products that you buy at your pet stores that will have something in it called permethrin and or a pyrethrin, and those are more of an insecticide. They are toxic to cats. They can cause a cat to become paralyzed. So you do, and there should be a label on those that says "Do not give to cats." The one that we carry in the vet clinic is called Advantix, and Advantix is not designed to be put on a cat. It is toxic to cats, and there is, a cat with a big red line through it saying that it cannot be given to cats on that box. So definitely, check any products that you were to buy at the pet store because they are more of your insecticide products. They can't carry the same products that we carry here at the vet clinic.
All right, Becky, on that note, I guess what other things can you do to safeguard your cat?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a lot about checking your dog over when you come back in. We often find ticks around the ears, on the inside flap of the ear, in the armpit, up in the groin. They kind of like warm, dark areas. I guess also we often see them around a dog's eyebrow sort of area is another spot they often attach. The tough thing is that so many of our dogs have so much hair, it can be hard to identify those ticks until they're big and engorged. So that's where a tick prevention product is really helpful. But yeah, they like to live more in your taller grasses and your shrubs. So if you're taking your dog for a walk, if you can, you know, stay away from those types of areas. If you're walking a bud miller, maybe aim to stay on the path and not in the grass and the shrubs. Um, so those would be some simple precautions you could take.
All right. Well, Becky, thank you so much for shedding some light on this tick issue. And of course, anytime we talk about this, I think I mentioned before, you get the creepy crawlies from them. Just start imagining that there's maybe something crawling on your ankle or something, but it's always good to discuss and find out more. So I appreciate your time today.
You bet. One last thing, if I could bring up, is the app that we recommend. It's
Oh,
recommended by both the Alberta and Saskatchewan provincial government. It's called e-tick. So just a small e followed by the word tick. And it's an app you download on your phone. And if you do find a tick either on yourself or your pet, you simply take a picture of it through the app and you submit it through there. And they ask you to keep that tick in a Ziploc bag for 5 days, and they will identify the tick and get back to you. I've had clients tell me that they will hear back within half an hour what type of tick it is. And if it is the American dog tick, dermacenter, then you dispose of your tick. If it does happen to be a black-legged tick, they would then ask you to send it in and they would test it to see if it is carrying Lyme disease. It's a really easy app to use. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just doing tick monitoring and trying to figure out what ticks live where and what prevalence of Lyme disease we may have. So I would really encourage everyone to use that if you're worried about any ticks.
excellent information, Becky. Thank you again so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
In this week's edition of Golf Tips, the local pro shows us how to play one of Lloydminster's toughest holes.
Golf is a challenging enough sport as it is, and this week, Marty shows us how to play one of Lloydminster's toughest holes.
So we're here on number 7, typically the hardest hole at the golf course here at the Lloydminster Golf and Curling Center. It is a dogleg left par 4 with some length on it, so it does require a couple good shots. Right off the bat, what we're trying to do is hit a drive up the right side, giving us the best angle coming into the green. So hit a good tee shot. The goal was met of being up the right side of number 7. Gives us the best look. Even though we did go through the fairway a little bit, we got about 135 yards, so we're going to hit pitching wedge. So we're not in the toughest spot. Got a little bit of a long putt, but definitely a difficult green to hold. It slopes off on both sides of the green. So from here, we're just absolutely focused on speed and speed only, trying to get just a nice, close second putt, get out of here with a par.
And with that putt, Marty showed how good of a pro he really is, walking away with a par on a very challenging hole. Catch us again next week for another day of Golf Tips.
Taking a look at the 3-day forecast here in Lloydminster as we move into the weekend here. Tomorrow, Friday, some more showers to be expected, a high of 17, low of 6. Saturday and Sunday looking quite pleasant, though, with some sun. High of 21 and a low of 4 on Saturday, with a high of 19 and a low of 7 on Sunday. That's all the time we have from Primetime Local News. Have a great night, everybody.